On this edition of Maury County Now, the Columbia Fire Department and the Red Cross team up to extinguish the need for blood. A look behind the camera at local photographer Sarah Linnea. Historic Maury County is back, this time with some very odd fellows. And finally, our local Kiwanis Club in Columbia celebrates the 100th birthday of Kiwanis International. All this and more on this edition of Maury County Now. Hello and welcome to Maury County Now, Columbia and Maury County's news show covering the events, ideas, groups and happenings in and around Maury County. The Columbia Fire Department is teaming up with the American Red Cross and the American Legion to make sure Maury County has a sufficient amount of blood supply in reserve in case a disaster strikes. Here's Carly Nelson with the American Red Cross to give us a squeeze on this blood drive.
Hi, I'm Carly Nelson with the American Red Cross, and I'm here to tell you about an exciting event we have coming up here Wednesday, February 4th. The American Red Cross will be teaming up with the Columbia Fire Department to extinguish the need for local blood. The blood drive is Wednesday, February 4th at the American Legion Post 19 from 12 to 6 p.m. The need for blood is constant. In fact, the blood that's on the shelf today is what's going to be used in an emergency. People need blood for all different reasons. Accident victims, cancer patients, leukemia patients, organ transplant patients. The list goes on and on. The need for blood, though, is constant.
Columbia Fire Department wants to recognize the American Legion for their work with the American Red Cross to help provide blood for our community. The fire department is an all hazards department. We go to fires, we go to EMS calls, we do rescue, and we also have programs that we think lessen the risk to our citizens. One of those is car seat safety. We also work with senior citizens for dangerous falls. And we have our smoke alarm program that we're going to be having representatives here the day of the blood drive. So we're out in the community. Our men and women want to make you safe. We want to prevent things happening to you before it happens. And we also know, and you've heard me say it over and over, smoke alarms save lives.
Hello, I'm Tim Hope with the Columbia Fire Department. I'm here today to talk about our free smoke alarm program that we offer. In conjunction and partnership with the state, Governor Haslam and Commissioner Julie McPeak, who sponsor the free alarms, the Columbia Fire Department will come install at your residence in the city a free smoke alarm. You can call our main fire hall at 931-560-1700 to set up for a fire crew to come by and install, or we will check your smoke alarms and install them if they're needed.
You can find out all about the American Red Cross by visiting redcrossblood.org, and you can learn, for example, eligibility requirements. To be eligible to donate blood, you must be 17 years of age, 16 with parental consent. You must weigh at least 110 pounds and be in general good health.
Pressing a button to take a picture may seem easy, but for Sarah Linnea Tatum, it's more than just a flash. We spoke to Sarah about her craft, her business, and why she doesn't shudder from a challenge.
Hi, I'm Sarah Tatum. I'm the owner of Sarah Linnea Photography. Sarah Linnea Photography is a portrait studio in downtown Columbia. It's located on West 7th Street, 109 West 7th Street, driving into the square. And we opened up about 8 months ago. I've actually been in the portrait photography business for about 5 years. But we really wanted to have this retail location just so we can offer more things to our clients, and it's a much larger space than we're used to working with, and it's been a wonderful opportunity for us. We've had so much more business in the last 8 months than in probably 2 years prior, and it's been really great to be in this community. I love the downtown community here in Columbia. I love the square. I love all the businesses that's come into the square, and I just wanted to be a part of it. For the most part, our portrait studio on the square is focused on babies and high school seniors. We offer a baby's first year plan, which is really popular. It allows the moms and the dads and families to come in with their babies to get those milestones that they want to see when they're sitting up and when they're just brand new in those first couple weeks, and maternity, and all the way up through that first year, because it's such a special time for them and there's a lot going on. The baby's changing constantly, and we want to make sure to capture all that. So the studio is really focused on that. And then high school seniors, we have an upstairs loft space that is really decked out for them. It's a really cool scene up there. It's got a lot of brick, a lot of unfinished wood and things like that. And it was, when we came and looked at the space, it's the first thing we thought of. A lot of people produce great portraits. A lot of people do. You don't need a degree to produce great art. We all know this. But the service that I provide my clients, I offer a lot of things to my clients that they can't get elsewhere. I do in-home consultations. I come into your home. I help design what's going to go on your walls. I want to see my photographs on walls. I don't want to see them tucked away in a drawer on a CD. I don't want to see them, or not see them, if you will, digitally on a hard drive somewhere. I want to see the physical product, and everyone else does too. I've never had a client come to me that got their large print and hung it on the wall and said, boy, that was a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. No one does that. And so I'm print focused. I am service focused. I want to give my clients, I want to help them create the best experience that they can have. Coming in and talking to me would be a great way to allow me to just ramble on like I do about what I do and why I do, because I love to do it. I have a website, sarahlinnea.com. There's a lot of information there about the studio, what I offer, all the different ways that my business can help you in your portrait needs. Facebook is probably the most updated part. I'm trying to get my blog updated more often, but I have a newsletter that you can subscribe to, and I send out information on all the different specials and promotions we're doing a lot of. The studio, because of its location, is going to be offering more smaller sessions. Mini sessions are really popular nowadays because you just don't need a 2-hour portrait session for anyone and all the time and 5 times a year. You don't need to spend that much time with them. So we're offering more themed mini sessions. We are hoping to work with the Polk Home to do a Tea Party in the Garden mini session. We do Christmas every year. We'll do something in the summer. This next week, well, the end of January to the beginning of February, we'll be doing Valentine's. We're going to give away custom Valentines with our mini session. So we're doing a lot of different events, so the newsletter would let you know everything that's going on and send you different promotions and things like that.
We'll be back with more Maury County Now after this.
Once every 3 hours, a fire death occurs in America. 80% of these deaths could be prevented with a working smoke alarm. Hi, I'm Lee Bergeron, Chief of the Columbia Fire Department. The men and women of Columbia Fire Department would like for you to have a working smoke alarm in your home. We have a program that if you call 931-560-1700, our men and women will come and place a working smoke alarm in your residence. We know by doing this helps make you safer and makes our city a safer place to work and live. These smoke alarms are brought to us on a grant by Governor Haslam and Commissioner Julie McPeak. Their goal is to place 20,000 working smoke alarms in residents in Tennessee. We know and they know by doing this we can help save lives and prevent the young and the elderly from perishing in fires. Thank you very much.
And now, back to more Maury County Now.
Civic clubs are common in Maury County. However, every now and then, you'll run across a group of odd fellows. Here's Adam Southern with the unique history of a lost civic club on this edition of Historic Maury County.
Hello, I'm Adam Southern, and this is another edition of Historic Maury County. With Kiwanis International recently celebrating their 100th nationwide anniversary, I thought it would be kind of fun to look back and see if there were any organizations in Maury County's past that we could kind of talk about today. And the one that just kept blaring at me was the Oddfellows, because you see that name all around Maury County. At 809 South Main Street, if you look at top of this 3-story building, you will see IOOF. Now, what does it stand for? That's the Independent Order of Oddfellows, and they were very active in Maury County for a number of years. They started out in 1841 in Maury County, and if you go to any of the local cemeteries, you will see a lot of their symbols on tombstones. And predominantly their most popular symbol was the 3 links of chain, and they're together there. And you go to Greenwood especially, a lot of those tombstones have those 3 link chains. And that kind of is important because not only were these folks with the 3 links part of the Oddfellows, but one of the early missions of the Oddfellows organization was to provide decent tombstones and burials for poor folks. So not necessarily does it mean that a person buried with a 3 link chain was a member of that organization. They were just someone that the Oddfellows buried. So kind of neat. Now, not only can you see those symbols in Greenwood, but also in the various other cemeteries around Maury County. Now, we'll talk a little bit about how the Oddfellows got their name. And Masons, it's easy to see why the Masons were called the Masons, because most of the members were Masons. Now, the Oddfellows, the reason they had their name was because they were from various odd professions. There was no one fraternal organization for their occupations. So all these men from these different backgrounds came together to form one fraternal organization, and people thought it was odd, and they started referring to them as those Oddfellows. And the Oddfellows kind of liked being called Oddfellows, and that's what they named their organization officially, the Independent Order of Oddfellows. So that's how they got their name. And we talk about them being active in Maury County by October of 1841. The building at 809 South Main Street, they started building that in 1892, and they didn't complete it until early 1900s, I believe. And now if you look up top under the IOOF, you will see 1907, also under that IOOF. That's there. We're not really sure why, because it was completed a little bit before that. So maybe they just liked that date. Not really sure why they did that. And it was lodge number 3, so they weren't the 1907th lodge, so we really don't know why. But they were Oddfellows. Now, part of their secret initiations involved skeletons. And they used to meet at Garden Street Presbyterian before they built their own lodge. And early 1920s, a young electrician named Bowser Frakes was doing some repair work to the electric wires in Garden Street Presbyterian. And as he was up in the attic, he noticed something in the corner of the room. And he thought, well, that looks like a casket. So he starts walking over to it, and sure enough, yeah, it was a casket. So he opens it up and shines his flashlight on it, and grinning back at him is a skeleton. So of course Bowser Frakes just runs out of the attic, goes and gets some of the church members, and together they bring this casket down and they open it up, and there's a full human skeleton in this casket. Now it starts this mystery because no one knows who this person is that was in the attic of the church. And rumors start circulating all over town. This could have been a murder victim. They may have had a funeral, nobody showed up to it, so they stuck the body in the attic. But really, it was probably a holdover from the old Oddfellows organization, because they always used skeletons in their initiations. And this skeleton kind of disappeared. They had a public viewing for the skeleton, and people lined up for several city blocks, and they did this for a couple of days. But on the 3rd day, when they opened up the church for this viewing, the skeleton was gone. No one knows where it went. So maybe the Oddfellows came and got it. But that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Hope you've enjoyed this look at the Oddfellows, and I hope you will come see me at the Maury County Library. Thank you.
The Columbia Kiwanis Club is celebrating the Kiwanis International 100th birthday, and Maury County Now has the exclusive video.
Very few things last an entire century, let alone thrive and become respected internationally. But this is what Kiwanis has done. The Columbia, Tennessee Kiwanis Club was organized on March 30th, 1920, and is the oldest and largest civic organization in Columbia. With a history of outstanding leaders and industrious members, Kiwanis of Columbia has been involved in community projects that have made a difference in our community.
I'm Murray Miles. I joined the Kiwanis Club in 1959.
I'm Dean Dickey. I joined the Kiwanis in 1975.
I'm Virgil Moore, and I joined Kiwanis in 1956.
Hi, I'm J.B. Shepherd. I joined the Kiwanis Club in 1968.
I'm Ashley Brown. I first joined the club in 1976.
My name's Bob Morgan. I joined Kiwanis in 1974.
I'm Jerry Battles, and I was introduced to Kiwanis in 1969.
Hi, I'm Bobby Chance, and I've been a Kiwanian since 1961, I believe.
Hi, I'm Wayman Hickman, and I joined the Kiwanis Club of Columbia in 1957.
Harold H. Hardison, joined the Kiwanis Club in the fall of 1958.
I'm Shelby Carpenter. I joined the Kiwanis Club in February of 1969.
My name is T. Edward Lawwell, L-A-W-W-E-L-L. Oh, I joined the Kiwanis Club in 1961.
Kiwanis is a working club. If you want to work and associate yourself with a great group of people, you will fit well in Kiwanis.
I joined Kiwanis to try to improve the community, make the community a better place to live. And of course, our priority is on children. We take it one child and one community at a time.
It's meant a lot to me, the association with people and the friendships I've developed there. It's just been enormously important to me. I think Kiwanis has meant a great deal to me because this has been over an extended period of time. If you start and figure that out, that's over 50 years of why would I still be considering being an active member of Kiwanis. And it's based on the fact of, first of all, a tremendous amount of fellowship with a lot of wonderful people, both gentlemen and ladies, and it's been a lot of fun.
My father was a Quanian, and we used to tag along, my brother and myself, and help on projects when we were 12, 13, 14. And we enjoyed getting to work with older men in the community, and I just wanted to become a Kiwanian after that.
Well, you know, it's meant a lot to me because at one time my wife said it's more like a religion to you, and I said because I was so involved in it. I'm now a senior member and not as involved as I was, but it gave me the opportunity to be involved in all these community projects, which I love to do, and to serve on the various committees besides being president of the club. And also, it's given me the chance to have fellowship with a great group of individuals. At one time, I think we had 140 members. Maybe it's a little less than that now. But it's a good, hard-working group of people that are really dedicated to this community and what this community has to offer.
I chose Kiwanis because of its always leading opportunities that it provided for its members, and also the good work that it did for the community.
It's meant a lot to me. The first connection I had with Kiwanis, they had a scout troop and needed a scoutmaster for it. And I had a good friend that was in the Kiwanis Club, and he was on the scout committee, and he tried to talk me into taking the scoutmaster. I didn't do it, but I told him if he would take it, I would help him. And so after him helping and me helping him for about 6 or 8 months, he'd got where he didn't want to work much, so I just took it. But then later on, about a year after I was working with the Scouts, they asked me to join. And my boss agreed to pay my dues, so I didn't have much of an excuse to get out of that. And I've been there ever since.
The Columbia Club has a history of being the most active club in the Columbia area, and although times have changed somewhat and civic clubs in general are not as popular as they once were, the Columbia Club, I think, remains viable and a positive force in the community.
Well, there's so much that Kiwanis has done in the past. We can go through a whole litany of things that Kiwanis has done.
Well, one of the things that's currently going on, of course, is the Imagination Library, where children across the county get a book each month. That's been an awful lot. The Kiwanis also go and read each month to the children in kindergarten age, and that's been a whole lot.
They've provided leadership in the community when there was civic or public. They built children's playground facilities, shelters in Maury County Park. They've contributed to the Boys and Girls Club significantly here and provided scholarships. I think that that all has caused me to really feel a part of some important organization.
I guess supporting the youth programs, the Builders Club and the Circle K, and continued to keep our club up to the membership that we had expected, which is about 120, the largest civic club in the city. Building leaders for tomorrow, I think, is a strong point there.
Kiwanis Club of Columbia, Tennessee has done great things, including the youth of our community. I know that you look back through the years, we're a great sponsor of Central High School. I remember we go out and build a fence around the stadium. That was Kiwanis' project. The band, we bought new uniforms for the band. So working with children like that. And one of my fondest memories about working with children back in the earlier years, the Boys and Girls Club, Boys and Girls Committee of Kiwanis, we went out on Christmas, a week of Christmas, and we delivered baskets to children in the community which a lot of people said will not see Santa Claus. So I remember going down with my two younger sons on the Christmas week, I remember, and we stopped in front of this house, and a little girl and a little boy looked like maybe 6, 7 years old, came out barefooted, and we gave them this box, and seeing the look in their eyes and how appreciative they were and how they were going to have a Santa Claus Christmas, I guess was one of the most memorable things that I can remember back in the early days of Kiwanis.
Over the long term, it's been significant. I think that if somebody's looking for benefit out of the Kiwanis Club for a year or 2 years or this type of thing, they might not reap it. But when you look at it over the long period of time, when you consider that I've been a member for, I guess it's 53 years, you look at it over it and you see all the things that's happened connected with Kiwanis to that, and you realize that it has been a significant part of my being here in Columbia and you know, being a professional in Columbia and doing my part for the civic community, for the civic work in the community.
If you're going to become a part of Kiwanis, then keep in mind that you need to be there, you need to be willing to volunteer when you're called on, and when you're asked to serve in some capacity, if you're capable to do that, by all means do it. So, but be real pleased if you're invited to become a Kiwanian.
Well, join Kiwanis to be involved in the community, to try to make the community a better place to live.
Our Kiwanis Club in Columbia, Tennessee is a place to come serve the community and get to know other businessmen in the area. And we have a lot of retirees now, and it's a good place to network and meet people in the community. But it's ultimately the place to serve our community, give back to our community.
I've enjoyed my time with Kiwanis, and I hope I can stay there some more. I hope I can get some more perfect attendance pins.
From its humble beginnings in 1920, the Kiwanis Club of Columbia has grown stronger through the years. The club's membership will continue to lead our community with an even greater impact on the lives of children here at home and around the world.
To find out more information on any of the stories you've seen on this edition of Maury County Now, check out our website, maurycountynow.com. Look in the show notes for more details. Maury County Now is produced by Columbia TNTV. Thanks for watching Maury County Now, and we'll see you next time.